is your first time, I promise you are in for a treat. My name is Montoya Smith, aka Black Socrates. There's nothing like what we're doing tonight in the city. There's nothing like it at all in the city. You will be challenged tonight to act. You're going to hear a lot of messaging that's going to challenge you to act. We are a discussion group. So sometimes people talk about discussion group. So y'all just sit around and talk? And my answer is yes. We just sit around and talk. But you will be challenged to some form of action tonight. You will have plenty of options for what that action may be. I ask that you choose one to act upon. So as we go through this evening, keep that in mind. You're going to hear small opportunities to do something that you're going to think to yourself, oh, that's pretty cool. I want to do that. How many times have we passed on ideas that have come to us just like that we know we should have done, or we still plan to do, but haven't gotten around to because you've been inspired, you read it somewhere, you saw it on Facebook, and you was like, I need to do that. And you don't act. Are we all guilty of that? I'm assuming everybody can raise their hand on that. We all guilty of that. So I asked, again, as we go through this evening, there's nothing like it in the city. You will hear options and different little small things that you can take and use and act upon. Something that I always say, my name is Black Socrates, I'm a philosopher. So one of the things that I like to say quite often is, knowledge never lets your mind rest. It never lets your mind rest. When you get a piece of knowledge, your mind, even if you're not aware of it, is trying to figure out what to do with this new piece of information. Well, once you get something that's true, something that is knowledge that you can use, you're going to come to a point where you will have to decide whether you're going to use that knowledge or ignore that knowledge. People quite often think that not knowing is ignorance. Actually, ignorance is taking something that which you know and ignoring it. So you're going to have options, get little nuggets, little pieces of knowledge tonight. And I ask that you take one. When this night ends, take one. Figure out what it will be and act upon it. One of the biggest differences for those who reach their goals and those that don't, they simply write it down. So I will ask that you consider, this is just making sure that you have your own follow-through on that action. When you figure out that's the thing I want to do, or it can be something very simple, I would suggest pull out a pen even in the middle of this event and write down that thing. Those that write it down will more likely stick with whatever that piece of knowledge is. We're going to have a lot of options for it tonight, bring a lot of information to you. So keep that in mind. Act on one of those things. This event ultimately is a networking event. So I want to say, for those that have been coming regularly, something that I want to make sure that is absolutely understood at this event, that it is a networking event. It's not the typical networking event. So you have all these things that are advertising and say, okay, we're networking over here. But I always say when you go to those typical events, since everybody is there to sell something, nobody's listening to one another because everybody's selling to one another. So that's not how we do our event here. We feature black-owned businesses. We're in a black-owned business. So make sure everyone has ordered something to support this business. So in networking, we do it a little different here. Basically, mental dialogue, we're building a community, we're building business relationships through committed fellowship once a month. So imagine this place as a place that you can come and seek out those who look like you that have been vetted because we're being recommended by people in this group. And the other aspect is if you're new to this event, if you're a first timer, you have a business, and you see this as a network that you want to be a part of, what I always say is if you want to be a part of it, it makes no sense to burn this group because we're going to talk about it when you're done. So keep that in mind. If you are new to this business, new to this group, and do business with one another, make sure you're doing good business with each other so that we can continue. And another thing, I've been doing these things in barbershops since 2008. So the network is extensive. So if you need something, you probably know somebody that's doing it, even if they're not here. So that's the other advantage as well. If you have a business, we also pass plug people in that are not necessarily coming to this event, because I used to do them all the way up in Sugarloaf, used to do them down in Atlanta. So all those people don't travel down here. So keep that in mind. So with that said, I want a few people to think about, this is just an opportunity for y'all to see how this works. Think of a service or someone that you would like to meet, or some type of product that you need right now. Think of something that you say, you know what, I need a graphic artist. I need help with my resume. I need a lawn cut. I need a roof. I need a real estate agent. Like, I'm naming things that are part of our community as we speak right now. We're going to get into a way to formalize it a little later in the evening. But if you're thinking of that right now, please, somebody raise their hand and just shout out to the group. Raise your hand and let me know something that you need right now. Anybody got something they need right now? What you need right now?
I need someone who knows how to write grants. I need a grant writer.
Anybody here know anyone in their network that can help her with that? All right, cool. We got 2 people you need to meet when we do our networking at the beginning. I also have someone for you as well. So keep that in mind. But I always say, in building relationships, that's something that you do yourself. So what happens is you take my person, this person, and this person. You build your own relationship. Our job is just to connect you to good people. All right, anybody else need something?
I do black-owned print shop. They will print brochures, flyers.
I got it.
Cool. So, like I said, we will network at the end. Y'all know who you need to see. All right, give me a couple more before we get into the event. This right here, because here, let me tell y'all why I'm doing this part right here. We've always had this event. You're gonna, like I said, you're gonna enjoy what we do for the rest of the evening. But I want to make a point to make sure that we're understanding this part. So what we're doing now will become a staple of this event. So you can come to this event once a month and come down here and say, I know I need this, and we're gonna get you connected. So give me a couple more. Anybody else got a couple things, something they need? Anybody got to be a couple people need something? Help with the resume. Anything. Got a couple. Nobody need anything. Everybody's good. Got everything you need. All right.